Hello and welcome to the channel again. This is Motions Biz and a very pleasant day to all of you. And today I just wanted to make a video about this topic. It's because in my channel lately we have had a lot of members share about their experience with this Navy Federal hack, and that is the product change. Okay, we're going to talk about the product change because I think this is very interesting for a lot of members. But before I get started, just a little reminder from Motions Biz. So today I have there's actually about 17 items about the product change that I collected to make sure that I can give you updates, and also maybe you can also share your experience with the product change. Now, I would like to give credit before I get started with this video, a big shout out to the designer Soapbox. I am a big fan. I've been binge watching her videos even before I became a member of Navy Federal, and it's from her that I actually heard a lot of these good things about Navy Federal, and that was actually what prompted me to go ahead and find a way to get into Navy Federal. So I also watched a lot of her videos about the product change even before I got the credit card. So I would really like to give that credit to her because her videos about product change I think are very informative and they're up to date, and she was able to share a lot of information. So the other updates I actually was able to gather from our members. I've had quite a few messages about questions on the product change, which prompted me to also find out what is going on with the product change. And a shout out to one of our members at Sin96, who actually shared that he was able to do a product change from his $28,000 cash rewards credit card to a platinum card, and he was able to do it in less than a year. So that was a very helpful tip. So at Sin96, thank you very much for sharing that. And also to Roman Empire, who shared that he applied for his second cash rewards credit card and he was able to hit the sign-on bonus points in about 2 weeks, and then he went on ahead and called for a product change. So the first rep actually told him that he could only do it after a year of having the card, and so he told the rep that another rep told him that he is able to do a product change, and so he did, and he was given the flagship credit card. So it only shows that sometimes with Navy Federal you really have to be very persistent. So again, at Roman Empire, thank you for sharing that. Okay, and I also want to thank That's a Necessity for sharing her story, and this was her email. She said, "It was nothing fancy. I have been a member of NFCU since '01. I had my cash reward for a very long time. What's ironic is she never knew about the 91 rule or the product change." So I think that's the only credit card she had. So she heard about the product change on another YouTube page, so she went on ahead and did that. So she did not want to apply for a credit limit increase because she might get a hard pull. So she went on ahead and did a product change, and she also got the flagship credit card. So again, to That's a Necessity, thank you so much again for sharing this information. And this is what I appreciate very much about this community, about everyone just sharing their journey. So we kind of learn from each other and see what useful information we can apply to our own situation. Why is the product change so popular? Number one, it's because it is a way to get into the Navy Federal high-tier cards even with bad credit. So the hack for this is that you apply for the lower tier credit cards, and once you have that, you can call Navy Federal and ask for a product change. And of course, there have been a lot of updates lately and changes in the rules, but let me just go over that with you. So that's one hack. You can get into a high tier credit card, the Amex credit card for Navy Federal, the flagship, and you can get started with the cash rewards, the platinum or the gold rewards. So let's go ahead and dive into more information about the product change with Navy Federal. So number 2 is that when you change from a low tier card to a high tier card like the flagship or the American Express credit card, is that your credit limit will remain the same. That is number 2. Now, another thing to remember, once you change your low tier card to a high tier credit card, remember that you cannot get the bonus points for the high tier card like the flagship rewards card, wherein you get 30,000 extra points if you spend about 3,000 in the first 3 months. So another thing to remember, you cannot get the sign-on bonus of points for the high tier credit card that you switched to. Number 4, as a rule, and you will hear this with a lot of the Navy Federal customer service reps, is that you have to wait 1 year for that new card. You have to keep it for 1 year before they will do a product change. However, we have had a lot of members in the community and a lot of Navy Federal members that were able to do a product change even before they had their credit cards for a year. So definitely, if you have someone tell you that you cannot do that, hang up the phone and call another rep, and hopefully you will get one that will definitely give you and allow you to do a product change. And another fact about the product change is that it is not a hard pull. So it is another hack of being able to change into the high tier card without getting a hard pull on your credit report. So that's another tip. Now, with a product change with Navy Federal, you can call them on the phone or you can message them on the app. So those are 2 ways that you can do a product change. And some people have had better luck calling them on the phone than doing the message on the app. So you can try both ways and just try to see which one gives you the result that you wanted. Okay. So now I had a question from a member asking, when is the best time to ask for a product change? This can be a lot of ways. You can ask for a product change right after you got approved for a low tier credit card, or you can do it at any time once you have that card already within a year. And although they tell you that you have to wait a year for that card before you request a product change, we have had some members, like I said, that got approved. So it can be any time. And you know, it's just a hit or miss, but it's always worth a try. And that's with Navy Federal. Now, another thing to remember is that you can ask for a product change only 3 times a year. So just keep that in mind, that it can be a combination of your, let's say, your lower tier cards that you applied for, and you would apply for the flagship or the American Express credit card. Now, any combination of the low tier cards into the higher tier cards, but just something to remember that you can only do it 3 times a year. Number 9, and another requirement for the product change, you must have at least $5,000 on the low tier card that you have before you ask for a product change. Something to remember. And another thing, you cannot do a product change on the flagship credit card. Now, I'm not sure if any of you have tried doing a product change with your flagship to a lower tier card. You may have a very good reason for that, but I don't know if you were able to do it. I am not sure, but this is what the general rule is, because the flagship is already the highest tier card. So share any information below that you may have if you have done so, okay? So another of Navy Federal's credit cards that you cannot do a product change from would be the secured credit card. That is the Navy Federal and Rewards secured credit card. You have to wait until that card has unsecured before you can do a product change. And now another credit card with Navy Federal that you cannot change is the Cash Rewards credit card. And this is only when you want to change the Cash Rewards Visa to a Cash Rewards MasterCard. That was what I was told. If you had a different experience, definitely share that with the community. Now, one of our members asked me this question. Would it be okay to carry a balance on your low-tier card before you do a product change? Okay, so you can still do that, but just to be safe, as a general rule, with Navy Federal credit cards, try to keep it below 30%. Although many of you are able to keep it under 10%, even lower. But just as a rule, if you have the low-tier card and you have $5,000 on it, just make sure you stay below 30% so you have a better chance of being approved for a product change. And another question from one of our members. Again, this person asked if, will your APR change when you do a product change? And the answer is no. Your APR will pretty much remain the same. But Navy Federal does offer you the opportunity to be able to lower your APR after you have had your card for about a year or so. And I'm not sure about that, but I think that's what I can remember from the top of my head. So anyway, when you do a product change, your APR remains the same. And last but not the least, okay, here was a community member who actually asked, can you do a product change from a personal credit card to a business credit card? And the answer is definitely no, because you need to have a business account and you have to apply for the business credit card because it is a whole different division of underwriting. It is under business services. So just another thing to remember. So if you have any further information about the product change that you want to share, now is the time, and please write it in the comment below. I would love to hear about it, and I am sure that our viewers would also very much appreciate that information because I got this information from different sides, you know, from influencers and then from members. So thank you so much again for following me, and hope that you will continue to support this channel. I appreciate you very much, and have a wonderful day, and until my next video.